You're listening to Puma Podcast.
A warning: this episode contains graphic descriptions of health related incidents.
Ilang beses ako muntik pumatay nun. Ang nakakagulat is 6 na galon na black liquid tapos malapot yung nakuha sa baga ko. 1 linggo akong dine-drain gamit ng trach o tubo. Tas may vacuum na pinapasok dito para ma-drain lahat ng tubig sa baga ko o panghigop. Sobrang sakit, grabe. Sabi ko sa sarili ko is, hindi worth it. Talagang hindi pala worth it makisabay ka sa uso kasi pagsisisihan mo 'yan pagka siningil ka ng katawan mo sa bandang huli.
The Department of Health has already confirmed the first death in the country directly linked to the use of vapes. That of a 22-year-old man who was athletic and had no comorbidities. Experts are also tracking the rise of related illnesses. It's clear sweet flavors and sleek marketing are luring young Filipinos into nicotine addiction. Public health think tank Health Justice Philippines is pushing for a total ban to curb this emerging crisis. It is not alone in its advocacy. Only 3 ASEAN member states have not yet banned vapes, with the Philippines being one of them. In this episode, we talk to someone who recounts its horrific consequences. A lawyer who insists our regulations are lacking, and a government representative who elaborates on the harms of marketing and the responsibilities of our policymakers. Ako po si Hannah Tasara and you're listening to Teka Teka. The memory is still fresh for Vince Limuel Lamson from San Antonio, Nueva Ecija. His experience with cigarettes and vaping left a lasting mark. Vince recalls that he first learned to smoke in grade school. By the time he entered first year high school, he had already become drawn to vaping, a habit that quickly took hold of his young life. He would even skip buying snacks during break time just to save money for vape.
Bale way back 2011, 2012 ganyan, may piyesta dito sa'min is may perya or patio. Tapos ang daming nagtitinda ng mga vape. Ang uso pa nun is pen type na vape. Para siyang ballpen pero vape siya. Kaya ako nahumaling dahil ang bango niya. Ang bango niya may flavor, kunyari chocolate flavor, amoy chocolate talaga tapos dumidikit sa damit mo, amoy chocolate ka talaga pagkatapos mo vape. Dito kasi sa'min is di pa uso din yung vape tapos napaka-cool ng dating mo pagka may vape ka. Tipong kahit mga lalaki is makikipag-usap sa'yo kahit di ka naman kilala tatanungin, "Ano yung gamit mo? Bakit yung yosi mo ang bango ng usok?" Gano'n, ganado, cool na cool, in short. Babae o lalaki ganado sa'yo.
Vince believed he was making a healthier choice. He stopped using tobacco, convinced that vaping was much safer than regular cigarettes. But in 2021, his life took a tragic turn. A motorcycle accident left him with a severe traumatic brain injury. This forced him to confront the real consequences of his choices.
So, nung dinala ako sa ospital, bakit daw hindi ako makahinga? Eh, ang severe traumatic brain injury is matatamaan yung utak mo, yung ulo mo. Bakit di ako makahinga? So, na-curious lahat ng doctors ko. 21 yun yung doctors ko sa private hospital na NEMC dito sa Nueva Ecija. So, ngayon in-x-ray nila yung buong katawan ko. MRI ata yung tawag dun, gano'n. Nakita ngayon sa x-ray na yung baga ko is punong-puno ng black liquid na malapot. Eh, hindi ala namang mangyayari dapat na gano'n kung naaksidente ka lang ng normal, ulo mo ang madadali. Bakit yung baga ko punong-puno ng tubig. So ngayon, tinanong nila sa family ko, ano daw ba ginagawa ko, chain smoker daw ba ako? Eh, fresh naman daw yung baga ko, pero punong-puno ng tubig. So sinabi nga nila na parents ko na pinayagan nila ako mag-vape since 2012 nung first year high school ako ganyan. dahil ang akala nilang lahat ay safe ito at parang laruan lang.
Vince was hospitalized for nearly 3 months, spending much of that time in the intensive care unit fighting for his life. What shocked the doctors most was the 6 gallons of thick, black fluid they had collected from his lungs. To save him, they had to insert tubes to continuously drain the liquid and keep his breathing stable.
Dulot daw talaga ng vape kasi nga kung chain smoker ako ng yosi dapat daw tuyong-tuyo ang baga ko at sunog. Ilang beses ako muntik mamatay nun dahil nga hindi nga ako makahinga. Tas ang ginawa nila is tubo, nilagyan ng tubo 'yan para ma-drain yung baga ko. Ang nakakagulat is 6 na galon na black liquid tapos malapot yung nakuha sa baga ko. 1 linggo akong dine-drain gamit lang trach o tubo. Tas may vacuum na pinapasok dito para ma-drain lahat ng tubig sa baga ko o panghigop. Sobrang sakit, grabe. Gising ako noon nung pinapasukan ng tubo 'yan. Kahit gusto mong humiyaw, gusto mong umiiyak ako sa sakit, naghihiyaw ako. Walang lumalabas na boses, gawa nga ng butas 'yan, walang lalabas talagang boses.
Vince is deeply grateful that he has recovered, but admits the experience left him traumatized. He has stopped using vape and is actively advocating to ban it.
Sabi ko sa sarili ko is, "Hindi worth it." Grabe talaga 'yun. Talagang hindi pala worth it makisabay ka sa uso kasi pagsisisihan mo 'yan pagka siningil ka ng katawan mo sa bandang huli. Tipong kada hipak mo mararamdaman mo yung sakit pagka kinukuha na lahat nung tubig na yun sa baga mo.
Cases like Vince's are the very reason Health Justice Philippines continues to push for stronger policies banning products containing nicotine, especially vapes.
Ako po si Attorney Benedict Nisperos. Kami po ang Health Justice Philippines. Kami po ay isang non-government organization or civil society organization na naglalayong magkaroon ng polisiya para sa proteksyon ng public health at kalusugan ng ating mga mamamayan. No? Kami po ay nasa ganitong gawain for the past 15 years at isa po sa mga nagawa po namin yung pagpapasa ng taxes on tobacco and heated tobacco products, yung pagkakaroon ng graphic health warning, yung universal healthcare, yun po, yung mga naglalayong protektahan at paigtingin pa yung suporta sa kalusugan ng ating mga mamamayan.
According to Health Justice Philippines, while there is a law regulating the use and sale of vapes, Republic Act 11900 or the Vaporized Nicotine and Non-Nicotine Products Regulation Act, its provisions are insufficient and implementation remains weak. As a result, more people have become hooked on e-cigarettes. Their call is firm to completely ban vapes in the country to protect public health.
Ang FDA ang siyang nagre-regulate, hindi ang DTI dun sa produkto to. Kanya nga lang, lumabas tong RA 11900. Naglaps into law nung naging Pangulo si President Marcos. Binaliktad niya yung mas striktong regulasyon dati. No? Yung 21 years old, naging 18 years old. So, mas konti na yung nasasaklaw na dapat bawal gumamit. Inalaw yung online sales, inalaw yung CSR, inalaw din yung flavors in a sense. Tapos, mas agresibo ang naging galaw ng mga vape industry dahil mas relax nga siya. Kaya kami tumatawag ng ban. Ang gusto po namin ay absolute ban. Ibig sabihin, ipagbawal ang produktong ito dito sa bansa. Bawal ang panininda, bawal ang mag-retail, bawal ang mag-manufacture, bawal mag-import at mag-distribute, bawal mag-advertise.
Like we said earlier, the Philippines is one of only 3 ASEAN member states that have not yet banned vapes.
Sa taong ito, maaring ang Malaysia ang magkaroon ng total ban kasi yan yung ginagawa ng ating mga advocates call for the total ban in Malaysia. So kapag nag-participate na ang Malaysia dun sa mga nag-ban, 2 na lang out of the 11. Yan na lang ay ang Pilipinas at ang Indonesia. Ang Indonesia kasi, it's a big tobacco producing country.
Beyond pushing for national legislation to ban vapes, Health Justice Philippines stresses that local government units also play a crucial role in protecting their communities. Baguio City is a success story. Through the comprehensive anti smoking and smoke free ordinance, it has strictly regulated smoking and vaping since 2017. The use, sale, and distribution of cigarettes, vapes, and other tobacco products in all public places across the city is prohibited.
Dapat hayaan yung mga local government units na mag-impose ng mas strikto, no, na polisiya. Kung pwede nga yung local government units na nakakaalam kung ano yung sitwasyon sa kanilang level, pwede silang i-allow na mag-ban ng produktong ito. Kasi for example, sa Baguio, isang partner po natin yung Baguio. Maraming awards na ang nakuha mula sa international organizations dahil maganda yung programa nila on tobacco control, no. Meron silang smoke-free task force at meron silang magandang assistance system para dun sa mga gustong mag-quit. Ang problema, Baguio yung strict. Ngayon, yung mga local governments around it na hindi masyadong strict, dun pumupunta yung mga produkto. So, it has to be a whole of government approach para hindi lang isang local government yung namamayagpag sa pag-regulate ng mga produktong ito.
Experts continue to study the illnesses linked to vaping. One of the emerging concerns is e cigarette or vaping associated lung injury, E Valley for short. The DOH has adopted this term to raise public awareness about the dangers of e cigarettes. We talked to Tina Marasigan of the agency's Health Promotion Bureau. She is also the agency's communications director.
Basically a lung injury that is caused by so many chemicals inhaled from vaping and using e-cigarettes. So symptoms can manifest through coughing, chest pain, shortness of breath, and severe breathing problems. And sometimes it can also manifest chills or fever, nausea, vomiting, fatigue, yung matinding panghihina. At ang matindi dito sa E-Valley, sometimes when the symptoms are already there, it's already severe. Because if we will be looking at the lung through an X-ray, ang baga ng isang may E-Valley o ang isang pasyente na may E-Valley, butas-butas po yung kanyang baga at mararamdaman lamang po niya ito kapag malala na.
Again, at least one person has already died due to vaping.
Napakabata nung ating pasyente, 22-year-old Filipino male, at siya ay actually very athletic. Wala siyang sakit, wala siyang comorbidities, wala siyang history ng respiratory ailments or sakit sa puso prior the attack. So the doctors diagnosed him, nasabi, E-Valley ito kasi nga prolonged yung kanyang paggamit ng vape. And then there are 8 probable E-Valley cases also recorded, pero isa dun sa 8 ang talagang namatay. At ito yung direct causality nga sa paggamit ng vape at ng e-cigarette. So, sa ngayon, ang nakikita kasi namin is very mixed. Minsan nag sila or dati nag sila, ngayon nagve-vape sila.
The DOH says the marketing strategy of vape sellers seems to deliberately target the youth.
So the nicotine addiction, we have a lot of factors, but when it comes to the behavior of children or young adults being hooked to it, I think, and this can be backed also by the statements of World Health Organization, that it's really, really the marketing strategy presented to the target market. And the target market of vape is really the young ones because vapes and e-cigarette, they are packaged as something that is less harmful. Yan yung mga false narratives na inilalabas na marketing strategy ng mga gumagawa ng vape and ng e-cigarette. And the World Health Organization already recorded 16,000 flavors across the globe. So yung flavors pa lang, wag na nga lang yung pakete eh. Kahit na pangit yung pakete pero kapag naamoy ng mga kabataan o naamoy ng isang previous tobacco user, yung amoy ng vape na parang matamis siya, mas mabango. It's really a marketing strategy.
What makes the issue more alarming is that vapes are treated as a basic commodity regulated by the Department of Trade and Industry rather than the Food and Drug Administration, despite containing nicotine.
It's not being regulated or seen by FDA. It is being regulated and monitored by the Department of Trade and Industry. It's like a normal commodity. Hindi siya dumadaan sa FDA kahit na meron siyang mga chemical na nai-ingest ng ating mga users.
Like Health Justice Philippines, the DOH is pushing for a total ban on vapes, especially as more and more young people are becoming addicted to them. The agency also vows to intensify its campaign to raise awareness about the harmful effects of vaping.
The banning of vape in the Philippines is a collective call, not just of civil societies or NGOs, CSOs, but also it is propelled by the Department of Health. Ang Department of Health po ay nasa ilalim ng ehekutibo or executive branch. So hindi po kami yung gumagawa ng mga batas para po say for example, iban ang vape sa Pilipinas. Kami po ang magtutulak nito para po yung mga gumagawa ng batas, yung mga nasa Kongreso at nasa Senado, ang siyang magdidisenyo ng isang batas para po tuluyang hindi na makapasok ang vape sa Pilipinas.
Ultimately, our lawmakers have a responsibility to fulfill. Not only could they prevent our country from becoming a dumping ground for vape products other ASEAN member states refuse, they could protect generations of young Filipinos from death and disease as well.
Because we don't want a Philippines that is full of Filipinos having pulmonary ailments. Ang gagamot din po niyan ay health system ng Pilipinas. The stand of DOH is always for health. The stand of DOH is never for trade. The stand of DOH is to have a healthier Philippines in the future.
You've been listening to Teka Teka. I've been your host, Hannah Tasara. This episode was researched and written by Lilian Tiburcio. Our audio editor is Jem Bunao, and our producer is Trisha Aquino. For more stories like this, subscribe to Teka Teka on Spotify or check out the Puma Podcast channel on YouTube. Thanks for listening.